Hello, English learners, and welcome to the Real Talk English podcast from the English Alchemist, where we make learning English a fun and engaging experience, blending entertainment with effective educational strategies to help you improve your skills naturally. I'm your host, Emily, and as always, I'm joined by my fantastic co-host, Alex.
How are you doing today, Emily?
I'm doing fantastic today, feeling pumped, full of energy, and ready to chat about our topic today.
Me too. Yeah. Today we're talking about something that can be super frustrating for a lot of English learners: mastering grammar.
We're excited to dive into this topic because, let's face it, grammar can be tough. If you've ever felt like grammar, rules are just a giant puzzle with missing pieces. You're not alone.
Yeah. So many learners struggle with memorizing rules, only to freeze up when they actually try to speak.
Exactly. And the traditional way of learning? Drills, worksheets, endless corrections. It's not exactly fun.
But what if there was a better way? A way to absorb grammar naturally, just like native speakers do? Think about it like working out. You don't get fit by memorizing exercise science. You get fit by moving. Same with English. You get fluent by using it.
That's what this podcast is all about. We'll show you how to internalize grammar intuitively, so you can stop overthinking and start speaking with confidence.
And don't worry, no boring lectures here. We'll keep it fun, simple, and totally practical.
It'll be all right if you miss something. We'll preview key vocabulary after each section, and a free PDF with the full transcript and vocabulary is available below.
Before we dive in, share with us. What's your biggest English grammar struggle? Tell us what you think in the comments.
All right, let's kick things off by talking about something that frustrates so many English learners: grammar. Why does it feel so difficult sometimes?
Where do we even start? All those rules, exceptions, irregular verbs. It's like trying to solve a puzzle where the pieces keep changing shape.
Exactly. And most of us learned grammar the traditional way, memorizing tenses, studying sentence structures, and trying to remember a bunch of rules before we even use them in real life.
But let's be honest, how well does that actually work? I mean, nobody ever said, "Hold on, let me consult my grammar book before I answer your question."
And that brings us to two very different ways of learning: implicit and explicit. Explicit learning is what we've been talking about, the rule-based textbook method. You're consciously learning grammar rules and applying them. Implicit learning, on the other hand, is more natural. Think about how you learned your first language. Did someone sit you down and explain subject-verb agreement? Probably not. You just picked it up by listening, imitating, and making mistakes. That's the key. Implicit learning is all about absorbing grammar without even realizing it. It's like osmosis. You're surrounded by the language, and gradually, you start to internalize its patterns.
Consider this. Kids don't learn their first language by studying grammar books. They hear the language over and over, and their brains naturally absorb the patterns.
Which is why immersing yourself in English, watching movies, listening to podcasts, reading books, is so powerful. You're exposing yourself to natural grammar and context.
Now, don't get us wrong. Explicit learning has its place. It can be helpful for understanding specific concepts or correcting persistent errors. But it shouldn't be the only way you learn.
Definitely not. And this brings us to a crucial point. Communication is more important than grammatical perfection. It's okay to make mistakes. In fact, mistakes are a natural part of the learning process.
Exactly. And that's the approach we want to take. Learning grammar by using it, not by memorizing rules.
You don't need perfect grammar to be understood. The goal is to speak with confidence and get your message across.
It's like learning to ride a bike. If you try to analyze every little movement, your balance, foot position, posture, you'll never actually start pedaling. But if you just go for it, you'll figure it out along the way.
Ooh, that's a good one. I was going to say learning grammar is like cooking. You can memorize a recipe all you want, but until you actually get in the kitchen and start mixing ingredients, tasting, and adjusting, you won't truly understand how to cook.
Love that. And the best part? Over time, grammar starts to click naturally. You don't even have to think about it.
So let's ditch the obsession with perfection and embrace the messiness of real-life communication. That's how you'll truly master English grammar. By focusing on getting your message across, not on following every rule perfectly.
Don't worry, we're going to show you how to make it easier, more natural, and even fun.
Stick around, because next up, we'll dive into how you can start mastering grammar naturally, without memorizing a million rules.
Let's take a moment to review some key vocabulary. These are words and phrases native speakers use all the time, and understanding them will help you sound more natural.
First up, kick things off.
Kick things off.
Kick things off.
This is a casual way to say begin or start. Native speakers love using this phrase when starting something new.
Here are 3 examples. Let's kick things off with introductions.
The concert kicked things off with their most popular song.
I'll kick things off by explaining the basic concept.
Next we have dive in.
This means to start doing something with enthusiasm or to become fully involved. It's like jumping into a swimming pool. You're fully committing. Examples.
Don't overthink it. Just dive in and start practicing.
She dove into the project without any preparation.
Are you ready to dive into the next chapter?
And finally, pick up.
When talking about language learning, pick up means to learn or acquire something gradually, without formal study.
Examples. Children pick up languages faster than adults.
I picked up that expression while traveling in Australia.
You'll pick up the accent if you listen carefully.
All right, so now that we know grammar doesn't have to be a painful memorization game, let's talk practical strategies to make it stick, naturally. What can you do today to start mastering grammar intuitively?
Great question. First up, set realistic goals. Instead of trying to master everything at once, focus on one area at a time. Like, this month, I'll work on getting my verb tenses right. Or, I'll finally understand when to use a versus the.
Right. Think of it like hitting the gym. You wouldn't try to lift every weight on day 1, right? Pick a few muscles to work on and build from there. Same with grammar.
Next, practice language awareness. Pay attention to your own mistakes and patterns in writing, speaking, even texting. When something feels off, don't ignore it. Notice it, fix it, and move on.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to listen to yourself. Read your messages out loud, record yourself, or even have a grammar accountability buddy. You'll start spotting patterns and improving without even realizing it.
And finally, use reference tools sparingly. Grammar books and websites are great for quick clarifications, but don't treat them like a holy book of rules.
Exactly. If you check a grammar rule, use it immediately so it sticks. Otherwise, you'll just be collecting rules like Pokemon cards, with no idea how to play the game.
3 simple strategies. Set clear goals, build awareness, and don't over-rely on rules. Put them into practice and you'll start seeing real progress. Naturally.
And hey, why not try a challenge? Pick one grammar goal for the week and practice it in your daily conversations. Keep it small, keep it fun, and let us know how it goes.
Love it! Let's keep this train rolling. Next up, we'll tackle integrating grammar into daily life.
Vocabulary preview section.
First word, internalize.
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 Meaning, to make something, like knowledge, values, or ideas, a part of your own thinking or behavior by deeply understanding and accepting it until it becomes natural to you.
Examples. Once you internalize the grammar rules, you won't need to think about them while speaking.
She has internalized the pronunciation so well that she sounds like a native speaker.
It takes time to internalize new vocabulary, so be patient with yourself.
Next word. Consult.
Consult,
Consult.
meaning to ask for advice, information, or an opinion from someone who has specific knowledge or expertise, to check or refer to something, like a book or website, for guidance.
Examples. If you're unsure about the grammar, consult your textbook or a reliable website.
He consulted his English teacher about the best way to improve his writing skills.
I always consult a dictionary when I encounter unfamiliar words.
Consciously,
Consciously.
consciously.
Meaning doing something with awareness and intention. Being fully aware and deliberate about your actions or thoughts rather than doing them automatically.
Absorbing,
Absorbing.
absorbing.
Meaning taking in or soaking up information, knowledge, or experiences. Learning or understanding something by being exposed to it over time.
Examples. Children are excellent at absorbing languages just by listening to them being spoken.
I spent the weekend absorbing as much English as possible by watching movies.
Reading novels is a great way of absorbing natural language patterns and vocabulary.
All right, let's talk about making grammar a part of your daily life. Not just something you study, but something you actually live.
Yeah, 'cause let's be real, nobody ever became fluent by staring at grammar charts. You gotta use it to lose the fear of making mistakes.
So, first up, speak daily. Even if you don't have native speakers around, find a language exchange partner, an online tutor, or even talk to yourself.
Seriously, I talk to myself all the time, especially when I'm trying to figure out what to say in the moment. It sounds weird, but it builds confidence and helps your brain get comfortable with sentence patterns.
Next, let's talk interactive tools. Apps, online courses, virtual classes. These things give you structured practice so you can absorb grammar in context.
Right, but don't just tap through the exercises like a zombie. Use what you learn right away. If you study a new verb tense, try using it in a text, a social media post, or even while ordering food.
Love that. And finally, make it fun. Play grammar-based games. Do storytelling exercises. Challenge yourself with quizzes. Learning sticks way better when you're enjoying the process.
Exactly. Like, tell a crazy made-up story using only past tense, or play a game where you catch grammar mistakes in movies or TV shows.
So, quick recap. Speak daily, use interactive tools, and gamify your learning. Do that, and grammar won't feel like a chore. It'll just be a natural part of your day.
All right, we've covered a lot today. Let's do a quick recap of the best ways to master grammar naturally.
First, immerse yourself in English. Listen, read, and surround yourself with the language every day.
Second, focus on patterns, not just rules. Pay attention to how native speakers use grammar in real conversations.
And third, practice daily, whether it's speaking with a partner, using an app, or even talking to yourself in the mirror.
But here's the most important thing. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. They're not failures, they're proof that you're learning.
Exactly. Every mistake is like a rep at the gym. It's how you build your fluency muscles.
And of course, challenge yourself to practice daily. Even 5 minutes a day makes a difference.
Before we wrap up, let's do a quick bonus segment. Today's expert tip: how to memorize tricky verb tenses without overthinking.
Here's a fun hack. Connect tenses to real memories. Instead of memorizing the past perfect, think of a real story from your life where you'd actually use it.
So keep practicing, and remember, fluency isn't about perfection, it's about progress.
See you next time. Keep speaking, keep learning, and have fun with it.